Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hi, Dr. Nick.
How the hell you
What's
think you was in my mind? You was in my head, bro. I swear to God, I was thinking the same thing. Hey, man.
Hey,
It's
man,
David, bro.
what is going on, people? What is going on? You know it is Tuesday night. You know what time it is. Hold on, let me do the Stone Cold Steve Austin here. It's time for the heavy hitters. You already know what it is here. Like I said, I'm your boy, KStylzz, aka the Six Man, aka the Fat Man. And we're gonna start at the bottom here. As you see the man right here, you got Mr. Drew Talk Sports. Calm before the storm. Juju to the bank. You know he got to have the mile high salute and the bell. And
I think we're gonna hit this.
So you already know what time it is. And to my stage left, as y'all already know, he is the great one, the mad scientist himself, Mr. Mad Mike Sports.
Five time WCW champion.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we are your AFN heavy hitters, aka the bad guys of the Atlanta Falcons fan base. We definitely appreciate that, man. But you know what we got to do? Like I said, I know we probably haven't done this in a little bit, but we got to get the real roll call going on right now. We got to show some appreciation. I don't want to say the whole thing because we ain't trying to get this shit struck on
What is wrong with y'all? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Can y'all behave as professional for a chance?
Exactly. But you know what we got? We have to highlight the new member.
Pick up the
pieces. Dwight Thomas, appreciate you becoming the new member here at AFN and or Mad Mike Sports. Definitely appreciate the love. And let's go ahead. We're going to go down the list. We got Mr. Jalen Mayfield. We got Yusuke Knight. We got Joseph Thornton. We got Sean Wiley. We got Prince Kill 89. Blackheart. James C. Obleton III. Bobby Boy Zone 3. Derek Hughes. Millie Mills. We got Brian Peoples. Jarvis Williams. Michael Walker. Big Ant 1986.
Right.
Brian Peoples. Mr. Lee III. Chris Dunlap. Hey, Asia Green in the building. ATM 534 in the building. Y'all make sure y'all show both of them some love as well. We got Pole D TV. We got Ultra Shadow 97. Marwin Johnson. Dreddy. They said Kenneth Lewis, Fred Butts, Kevin Art. We got Arliss in the building. The Nation. Joshua McClure. Ty Hall. T.Y. Hall. Andrew G. What is going on, people, today? As we know, this is a new week. We are not talking about the last game. That's what yesterday's show was for. We are moving on to this week. Like I said, we appreciate y'all joining in tonight. Like I said, make sure you share this video to people that might not be watching or might not be fans of AFN or any one of us three. We appreciate, like I said, we just want to let y'all know we appreciate everything that y'all come in here with us for. All right, Mike, man, how are we doing this evening? Drew, how are we doing this evening, man? What we got in store for the people today?
Hey, I'm doing good.
But before we do that, let me go ahead and shout out Prince Kel 89 for this comment. He said, been watching y'all all day. I'm ready for this real talk, back speeding heat. Salute AFN quality Falcons content, real fandom and loyalty. Hey, man, like I said, like we said before, It's only 6% of us left here in the state of Georgia and all over the country that are Falcon fans. Majority of the people have already thrown up the white flag. So we're here to show you that ain't nobody throwing up no damn white flag over here.
Exactly. We ride or die.
Ride or die.
Ride or die. 16-0, 0-16. We ride or die.
Yeah. 16-0, 0-16, 0-2, 2-0, 1-7, whatever you want to say. You get the same energy, the same content, regardless of the record. Like I said, and this is what y'all come here to see us for. All right, Mike, man. Drew, what we got for him?
You want to take it, Mike? You want me to just?
What y'all want to start with? Go straight into it.
Want to do the 3 keys, or y'all want to do the quick Atlanta Falcons news with the Dustin Cole quick?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start off.
I forgot all about that.
Let's start with the news. Because I got this ridiculous ass Russian hat on, but it's fire as hell to me. So let's go ahead into the news. As a lot of people don't know, Dustin Colquitt has been signed by the Falcons, as well as they were looking at John Brown. I'm about to say, did they officially sign him now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so
he had a tryout though. So
he had a tryout with John Brown.
That conversation I had the post game to see how it coming. Boy, I told y'all better listen to the Falcons, boy, the Atlanta Falcons Nation. We can give y'all the inside.
So
that's exactly what we're talking about.
So I want to know y'all's 2 opinions as far as the Colquitt signing and looking at the John Brown. What message do you think that this team is sending as far as these signings going into week 3?
I'll say this as far as these signings, Dustin Colquitt. First thing, before I even talk about the 2 players, they're doing what they said in the beginning. Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, they've been keeping it real. They mean what they say what they mean. They said we're going to continue to improve this roster. Every guy's going to have to fight for their position, and we're seeing that week in and week out. Guys being signed, guys still competing. Like training camp is over, preseason is over. We're in the regular season, and they still got guys competing. And that's what I like to see. If you want to create a winning culture, guys' jobs have to feel like their job is on the line week in and week out. As a coach, my job, if you're not getting the job done, my job is to replace you. And that's what they're doing. They're bringing in competition. I mean, they're signing people, cutting people, bringing them back. They're making transactions. Players are going in and out. But I like that because these guys know that it's not sweet around here. You're just not going to keep your job just because I like you. If you're not competing on Sunday, if you're not doing your job on Sunday, you're making mistakes like we seen with our punter last week in Nazalek. I mean, it came out right after the game. The insiders was already stating we were bringing in a punter because he didn't have a good game. He had 2 shank punts. So I love what they're doing because they're keeping their word. You know, we had Dan Quinn and he talked about, I'm going to give these young guys a chance and I'm going to play guys on the roster. And we seen players inactive for the whole season, like Deidre Sanat, like Quadri Olison, like John Kaminsky, guys who really weren't seeing the field a whole lot. With this group, we're seeing guys getting opportunities, and that's what I like to see. So I love that they're creating that competition and they're bringing that winning. To me, that's a winning culture when you're challenging players week in and week out. I don't care how much money you make, we're challenging you to be the best. And if you don't perform, like I always say, either step up or get stepped on. One of the 2. If you ain't gonna get the job done, we're gonna find somebody that will. And Dustin Colquitt is a great signing because he's a guy that's been in the league for years. He's a veteran, and I feel like Nazalek, whether he stays with the team or not, because I think they're going to give him another chance. I don't think they're just going to cut him. I think he's still competing with Dustin Colquitt, but this is basically a wake-up call for him that we brought another punter in, just like we had signed another kicker, just in case someone gets hurt. But in this instance, it's to make Nazalek basically step up his game. Like, if you don't step up, we got somebody that can replace you. And Dustin Colquitt is a guy who's been in the league, and he's not going to get overwhelmed. Because I really feel like Nazalek, it was in his head. He kind of got overwhelmed because the game was tight. When he had that shank punt, the score was 25-28, and we were kind of backed up. So he was just nervous. If you seen him before he kicked the ball, I had a feeling he was going to be another shank punt because you can kind of see him shaking. When you see a kicker moving a lot before he kicks the ball, I was like, oh, this man nervous. And sure enough, he shanked it like a 30-yard punt. So I love the signing of Dustin Colquitt because he's a guy that's been around. He's been playing with the Chiefs, where, you know, they've always been a competitive franchise. A franchise has been a winning organization ever since Andy Reid's been there. So he's played in a lot of big-time games, and he's not going to get, you know, it's not going to be too big. The moments are not going to get too big for him. Now, as far as John Brown, Mike talked about it in the last show that we did, the post-game show, I believe it was, where he talked about guys weren't getting open. And one thing we know about John Brown is he's a guy that's going to take the top off the defense. He's explosive. He's kind of like a Cordero Patterson. He's small. He's not big like Cordero Patterson, but he's kind of like a Taylor Gabriel. He's a guy that you can use on those.
You messed my comparison up.
He's kind of that Taylor Gabriel. Yeah, he's that Taylor Gabriel, that gadget guy. But I think they're bringing him in because he's a guy that you can also use not only in the slot and not only to take the top off the defense, but you can use him when I always talk about movement on the offense. He's a guy that you can bring in on like those jet sweeps where he may not get the football, but that's something that you can add to your offense and kind of confuse the defense or try to get their eye discipline off. Like the Buccaneers, we seen they were just attacking downhill, aggressive. But when you got a guy like John Brown who can take the ball to the end zone from anywhere on the field, kind of like Cordero Patterson, you always have to watch out for that guy, and you have to stay in your gap integrity. You can't jump outside your gap. You have to play your responsibility when you got speedsters out there. So he's a guy that's going to make the defense be honest. And that's the reason why you want those playmakers, you know, on your team. The more playmakers you got, the better. That's the reason why it's so hard to cover the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and teams like that have, you know, 3 and 4 good wide receivers. And they're just adding more and more depth. And I love it because you never know when somebody's going to go down with injury. So we see Cordero Patterson has been doing this thing. But like Mike said, we don't want to just run Cordero Patterson in the ground. Now you bring in another guy that can do similar things to Cordero Patterson, a guy that can do a lot of different things. And that, like I said, is going to put pressure on the defense where they can't now just key in on Cordero Patterson. Now you got John Brown on the field and Cordero Patterson and Ridley and Kyle Pitts.
That's why they drafted Mecole Hardman, because he can do the exact same things that
Right. So you want as many guys as you can to take the top off the defense and to keep these defensive coordinators up at night when they're game planning for us. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, yeah. The thing is, they signed Dustin Colquitt to the practice squad. So Cam Neasy will still get another chance to redeem himself. That wasn't a good showing, but like I said, we have to remember Dustin Colquitt damn near 40 years old. So don't expect the Marquette King super long punts of doom from this ass boy, because he is 40. But what he brings as far as where it comes to Cam is the experience in the league and working on techniques that can definitely help him when it comes to those moments. Bruh, Dustin Colquitt been in this league since I graduated high school.
Right, he been in
I'm
the league.
34 years old. So he up there. Now, John Brown, like I said, Drew TalkSports, he kind of took my point right there, but everybody kind of figured that. Like, he is basically Taylor Gabriel. But the thing about it is he has proven 1,000-yard seasons. He had, I think he only had one. But when you see him on tape, you see that deep threat. And I think that's kind of what this team is missing as far as having that variety of wide receivers. Like, we like Alameda Zaccheaus. We think he's a deep threat, but John Brown is a deep threat on another level compared to OZ, because OZ doesn't have much experience.
Right.
Compared to John Brown. Yeah, John Brown, the wide receiver, not the kicker. John Brown, the wide receiver. But
and then like again, KStylzz, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna add, and we don't really know how healthy Russell Gage is because he had some type of ankle injury in the last game. So who knows how bad that is. Ankle injuries tend to linger. So unless he's doing the right things as far as treatment and stuff like that, who knows how healthy he is, because he had that ankle heavily taped after he went down the first time in that game. So
Right. So basically, just think about it like this: they just signed some insurance policies. Plain and simple. All right, Mike, what you got for it?
Y'all pretty much got it, man. Let's just go into these 3 keys. Start with the Atlanta Falcons.
Hello, yes, John Brown that played for the Buffalo Bills. Yes,
Buffalo Bills. Yes, that guy. Yeah. But I'll just get straight into the 3 keys, man, for the Falcons. The first one, I think is probably the most important. Obviously, we just finished talking about John Brown. He's a speedster. The previous show, I pretty much stated that the Falcons are having trouble getting open. When you look at Russell Gage, I don't think he's a guy that is a speedster. He isn't a guy that you're gonna put him on the outside and say, "All right, go beat this guy deep." That's not his game. His game is to run routes, precise routes, and play off of speedsters like a Olamide Zaccheaus, Calvin Ridley. His game is to play off of those guys. So when you have those guys like him, it's not that he isn't a quality wide receiver. He just doesn't do well as that main guy getting open. So that's not his game. So you got to put him in positions like he did with Kyle Pitts. He put Kyle Pitts on the outside, and then Russell Gage was able to do his thing. Now, granted that he had the ankle injury, you're not going to see that, see him with the lack of effort that we saw in the Pittsburgh that kind of, resulted in a pick 6. Just wasn't healthy. So those things happen. But the receivers got to get open, man. They signed Juwan Green as well to the practice squad. So these guys are going to have to step up. It really just comes step up, and he's going to be able to. He got to get creative. So I expect Kyle Pitts to really get a lot of targets on the outside. I think he's going to have a lot of targets. Here you go. KStylzz, why you always laughing, bro? I knew you was going. As soon as you put that
Somebody brought it up, I had to do it, man. And my buddy from Buffalo and also buddy from the Chiefs. Yes, we got both
buddy from the Chiefs. But yeah, but the receivers got to do a better job.
My bad, Mike. But shout out to Twisted Torch TV in the chat. Make sure y'all show him some love as well. And Devon Stanford as well. All right, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, but the receivers the first one is obviously the receivers got to get open. You can't allow, there was quite a few times that Matt Ryan in the offensive line actually did protect well, but the receivers aren't getting open outside of Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley can't, they double and tripling him. They pretty much clouding, they pushing all their coverage towards Calvin Ridley and daring everybody else to get open. So that's the first one. Receivers got to get open. Second one, a lot of people, even Jew, he stated that he got to see his boy Dante Fowler do something. And Dante Fowler had one hell of a game. He needs to repeat that. All right, the Falcons defensive line, they got to continue to win their one-on-ones. I saw Jacob Tui Mariner. He did a great job of winning his one-on-ones. He had a few. I think he had a couple, 2 or 3 opportunity to get after the quarterback. He put pressure on Tom Brady. He put pressure. You guys saw Marlon Davis, and he got a sack. Him and Grady Jarrett, which is wreaking havoc. And Ogun Daisy, he had a few. Did not have a lot of opportunities, but when he got in there, you saw what he could do. So the defensive line got to continue to win their one-on-ones. Grady's just an animal. It's just nothing you can do with him. That dude was in the backfield. Look, I know he was scared. I saw the way he was looking on that sideline when he just saw Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett was a one-man wrecking crew. They stopped these guys. There's something that people are not even talking about. If the Falcons shut that offense down in the second half, Grady Jarrett and those balls up front, they got after that Bucs team. So they got to continue to win their one-on-one. And the third one, and it's not just Fabian Moreau, but you cannot capitalize off your mistakes. You get an opportunity to get picks, you got to capitalize. I saw it 3 times during the game. They had an opportunity to get a fumble, and they didn't recover the fumble. They had an opportunity to get the interception off a bad pass. We didn't get that because nobody's really paying attention. And the third one was Fabian Moreau. He just dropped. He could have easily, if he, positioned himself right, he could have took that thing to the house for a pick 6. But he wasn't. He dropped the pass. So you got to capitalize off those mistakes. So those are the 3 keys to victory. Wide receivers have to get open. The second one, Fowler and the defensive line got to continue to win their one-on-ones. And the third one is the DBs got to capitalize off their opportunities to get them turnovers, man.
Go ahead, Jude. What you got for them?
All right. So 3 keys to victory for our Atlanta Falcons. Number 1, I've been saying this for the last couple weeks. I haven't said it in my keys to victory, I don't think. I've been saying it on the post-game show, but it's going to be the keys to victory this week. Get out to a fast start. Get out to a fast start. Come out, jump on these guys. I believe this game is going to be played in New York. Take the crowd out the game. Come out fast, jump on these guys. New York has a bad offensive line. So Dante Fowler and the crew, Grady Jarrett, all of those guys up front that balled out against Tampa, their offensive line is atrocious for the Giants. They arguably have the worst offensive line in the game. So get after Daniel Jones in this game. Jump out to an early lead and make them one-dimensional. Don't allow them to run the ball with Saquon Barkley. Don't allow them to make short passes and stuff like that. Put this game in Daniel Jones' hands to win. So jump out to an early lead. If you jump out to an early lead, you put pressure on Daniel Jones. You put pressure on that offensive line of the New York Giants. So that's the first thing. The second thing in this game, win the turnover battle. Mike just talked about it. When you get a chance to intercept the ball, catch the football. If you knock the ball out, sometimes you can't help, like that ball rolled out of bounds when Foyer punched it out. It was a heads-up play. Sometimes that happened. The ball don't bounce your way, but that still was a heads-up play by him because they lost yardage when he knocked the ball out of bounds. So that was a heads-up play. So in this game, we need to win the turnover battle. If we win the turnover battle, New York is going to be on their heels and they're going to be in trouble. The third key to victory in this game is really going to come down to coaching. I like what I've seen out of Arthur Smith and Dean Pease, but in this game, let's keep these guys off balance like we did in this game against Tampa. I want to see a ton of different formations to throw these guys off. We did a good job of that in the red zone as far as scoring touchdowns in this last game. We need to do the same thing in this game and keep these guys off balance. I want to see that wildcat again that we saw. It was a fumble by Cordell Patterson, but I want to see it again in the red zone. I want to see, like I was always talked about, motion these guys out, jet sweeps, keep these guys off balance. I want to see those toss. Like we had a lot of tosses in the last game where we challenged the edge. New York is another team that has Dexter Lawrence, I believe Leonard Williams. Those are the inside guys that they have playing up front, but they're suspect on the edges. They do have the young kid out of Georgia that I wanted the Falcons to take. Ojulari plays for the Giants. So he's one of those guys on the edge, but they're still kind of weak on the edges. So challenge those edges and let's see if Cordell Patterson, let's see if we can throw some screens, maybe to Zacchaeus on the outside, get the ball into the playmakers' hands quick and allow those guys to do what they do best. Don't have Matt Ryan back there holding on to the ball. I thought the game plan last week was really good, but we need to stay ahead of the chains. I mean, that's important because we know our offensive line kind of has struggled. So if you get out to an early start, you stay ahead of the chains, you won't allow them to get that pass rush going because the secondary of the Giants is suspect. They only have one good corner, and that's James Bradbury. Opposite him, they don't have a lot of good guys on that back end. So we can take advantage of that back end with Kyle Pitts, with Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is a key in this game to me, him and Kyle Pitts. I haven't really seen a whole lot out of Hayden Hurst in that last game as far as, catching passes. I think they need to get him involved, even if it's on a tight end screen. I mean, that was something that Our last offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, loved throwing those screens to our slowest tight end, one of our slower tight ends when we had Austin Hooper. But Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts, these guys run 4-4, 4-5, 4-5. These guys are like wide receivers. So allow those guys on the offensive line to, throw them a screen pass. Let these guys get out in front of Hayden Hurst because nobody's trying to tackle Hayden Hurst or Kyle Pitts one-on-one. If you see those freight trains coming at you, you're not trying to tackle them as a corner or a safety. So put those guys out in space and let them do what they do best. And that's pretty much it. So the 3 keys for me: get out to a fast start, win the turnover battle, and then smart coaching. Like, be creative. Dean Pease on that defensive side of things, bring pressure, because Daniel Jones' offensive line is horrible and he will make errors. He will fumble the ball. He will throw the ball to you. But we just got to capitalize. When he throws the ball to you, we got to catch it. If you bat the ball up, somebody got to come down with an interception. You got to come away with a fumble in this game. If you do that, you'll take the air out of that crowd there in New York, because they have a crazed fan base up there in New York. Even though they're 0-2, just like us, they're going to be fighting like hell to win this game. We got to go in there and punch these guys in the mouth early and take the wind out of their sails early and out of that crowd.
Oh, man, I like y'all keys, man. I think I might my keys. I'm gonna give my first key that I'm gonna give is I need to see variety offensively, because we have to attack. We have to find a way to attack all 3 levels of that defense. That's where the interceptions came from last week. It was the fact that we wasn't attacking all 3 levels. We could we could put it on offensive line, we could put it on coaching, but the thing at the end of the day is they have to attack these linebackers. They have to attack them. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with dinking and dunking, but use the dink and dunk to set up the medium routes, the 7 to 10 yard routes. Take that occasional shot. If it's there, don't force it. Because, like I said, that's the thing. And like I said, and the reason why I say it is because I kind of have a feeling we haven't seen the full extent of this offense. Like I said, you've seen a lot of short stuff to try to get the confidence of the offense going. But you gotta take those shots, because like Ju said, outside of really Julius Peppers and James Bradbury, their secondary is not the greatest. So if you have an opportunity to do so, you take it. That's my first key. My second key: do not underestimate this offense. Do not underestimate the Giants' offense. Like I said, they have a terrible offensive line. We know Saquon Barkley is a home run hitter. The only thing with Saquon Barkley is, if y'all actually pay attention to how his game is, most of his yards usually come from one run, and the rest of them is usually 2 yards in a cloud of dust. But you don't want to take that for granted. They're going to try. They're going to run a lot. They're going to try to RPO our defense to death. So what you want to do is, if AJ Terrell don't play, you got to find a way to bust him in the mouth in less than 3 seconds. That's what you got to do. And my third key is we need 60 minutes of football. This kind of goes into what Ju was talking about with getting off to that fast start, but we have to do it for 60 minutes. It like I said, it can't be one of those things where we go off to a fast start, sputter, and then try to play catch up at the end. No, it has to be a continuous flow for 60 minutes, which means if your running game is working, use it to set your play action game up. They do it for 60 minutes. I'm just gonna keep saying this. We have to play 60 minutes football, both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. Because if we don't, like I said, it's gonna be a long. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be a long day because I still think we can win this game. But it's gonna be one of those. Oh, hold on. Let me get my towel out because I'm still sweating. We don't need one of them days. We gotta bust them in the mouth, plain and simple. And those would be my three keys right there.
Let's get straight to the Giants. Keys to victory. And the first one for me, obviously, well, AJ Terrell, I believe he will go, but the jury's still out. I don't know if it has been confirmed whether or not he has a concussion. I say he was had. I think it was concussion symptoms, but I don't think they came out and said it was concussion. So for the Giants, they got to come out and attack our DBs. They got to. If there's a hole, you got to exploit it, whether it's on pick routes, it doesn't matter. They got to go at our DBs, and in particular, the corners. Got to go at the corners. If you don't go at the corner, you're not doing yourself a favor. The second one is they got to get the same, almost the exact same thing for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's that, they got Williams. They have Williams and they have Dexter Lawrence there. I believe his name is Arthur Johnson Jones. I forget his name. They have another DT there also, defensive lineman there also, but they have to get interior pressure. You can't fool around and think your edges are going to get home on the Atlanta Falcons. That's actually the Falcons' strength is Caleb McGarry, Jake Matthews. Those guys are the strength. Right now, Matt Ryan is just not happy with Matt Hennessy. I know a lot of you guys have seen the pictures where he looking right in Hennessy's eyes. We can't have that miscommunication from our center, just missing everything. He's not blocking anybody. Like that can't happen. So the interior line for the Giants, y'all got to set the tone. Set the tone early, and try to prevent the Falcons from getting off to that fast start. You're gonna have to attack that inside. Second one, obviously, Jones got to get into a rhythm. He got to get into a rhythm. One thing I know about Dean Pease is he's going to make that adjustment. Once he figures out what you're doing, it could be in the first quarter, it could be in the second half, like he did with Tampa, but he's going to figure it out and he's going to slow you down. So he has to get off to a fast start. If he doesn't get off to a fast start, you ain't nothing but look, you lunch meat, all right? You lunch meat, you spaghetti, you all that. You what? Some Kentucky Fried Chicken, you Popeye's chicken at that moment. So, look, you better get out to a fast start, or you're gonna be toast. Third one, you gotta take advantage of our punt. If Nizalak is still the punter, y'all gotta take advantage of our special teams. All right, if he shanks another punt. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if he shanks another punt, y'all got to score like Tampa did right off the bat. You have to take advantage of situations and opportunities you have during the game. So capitalize off of special teams opportunity because, like the Falcons, Koo is one of the better kickers. I don't expect him to miss any kicks. He very seldom misses kicks. I think he was a Pro Bowl alternate last year as a kicker. He had the most points, I believe, also as a kicker. So, kicking game, I don't think that'd be an issue. But again, you got to get interior pressure. Williams, Lawrence, they got to set the tone. Second, they have to get Jones in a rhythm, and they have to capitalize off the Atlanta Falcons' mistakes on special teams. Honestly, I'm just gonna be real. I know everybody's down on the offensive line for the Falcons, but what really did the Falcons in was those shank punts. the special teams, KStylzz say all the time, that's what really killed us from really coming back. Those shank punts.
All right, so
Drew.
keys to victory for the New York Giants. If you're a Giants fan, key to victory number one is the defensive line and the offensive line, the trenches. We always talk about the trenches, and the inside of our offensive line. Just they're improving, but if I'm the Giants, I'm thinking that Hennessy is lunch meat. I'm thinking that Jalen Mayfield is a rookie, so I'm about to take his lunch money. So I'm thinking that we coming in and try to bully these guys. I don't care what nobody say. I love my Falcons, and yeah, they're getting better, but you want to come in early and take their confidence. And when there's a young player out there, a lot of the times young players lose their confidence easy, especially if they get off to a bad start, because then they're thinking, here we go again. We're already 0-2. Here we go again. Week 3, we're having the same issues. We're missing blocks. You know what I'm saying? We're not, picking up the right assignments on blitzes and things of that nature. I'm not making the right calls if I'm Hennessy. So if I'm the Giants, I'm blitzing. I'm not, sitting back in coverage because they don't have good coverage linebackers. So if I'm them, I'm blitzing A-gap pressure all day. I'm coming up, the gut. Like he said, our strength is our tackles. So I'm not even worried about coming on the outside. I'm bringing all my blitzes. I'm bringing those linebackers down. I'm bringing safeties down, and I'm doing delayed blitzes. I'm doing just like we seen with Todd Bowles. I'm blitzing like crazy until the Falcons show me on tape that they're picking up and they clean up their offensive line, the inside of that offensive line. I'm going after those guys like a wolf or like a shark. When you smell blood, you attack. And that's what I would do if I was the Giants defense. I'm not going to just assume because Arthur Smith was an offensive lineman that he's cleaned up those things and that they got better over 1 week. I'm bringing it every time until they prove that that's no longer a weakness. So if I'm the Giants, that's key number one. On the defensive line, we're coming out trying to bully these guys. We're trying to throw their confidence off. Like I said, we're trying to get this crowd into this game, because if we get up early, it's hard for those offensive linemen to hear the snap count. That's when those false starts and things like that come into play. So if I'm the defensive line and the defense, I'm trying to get a turnover. I'm trying to pressure Matt Ryan and force, another tip pass like we seen in this last game. Key to victory number 2 for the Giants, Mike said it. He hit the nail on the head. If AJ Terrell's not in this game, and even if he is in this game, I'm testing the Falcons deep. I'm testing them deep. I'm putting the guy Slayton out there from Auburn. He dropped a key touchdown pass last week where they could have won that game. That would have put the game away. He's a speedster. I'm running the ball and setting up that play action, and I'm going deep. They got Kenny Golladay from the Lions, who pretty much ate us, tore us apart last year with the Lions. He made a lot of key catches, tough catches. He's a bigger wide receiver, physical, kind of like a Plexico Bears, 6'3", 6'4", tall, lanky. I'm throwing that ball up and seeing if anybody can jump with him. TJ Green is not a proven corner. So I'm challenging them. Whoever TJ Green is covering, if AJ Terrell's not out there, that's the matchup that I'm looking at if I'm Daniel Jones. I'm licking my chops, and I want to see if TJ Green, can prove to me that he's a starting caliber cornerback. They also, I don't know if Evan Ingram's playing in this game, their tight end, but he's really good as well as far as he's a fast tight end. He drops a lot of passes, but he's a guy that can get open because he's really fast. So I'm stretching this Atlanta Falcons defense out. If I'm the Giants, I want to see if they can cover, our weapons deep. And I'm seeing if these guys are going to, play with the correct technique, because last week we seen on that goal line, of course, Mike Evans is really hard to stop because he's, very long, but TJ Green didn't look back for the football. So I'm seeing if I can get a flag. I'm just going to throw the ball deep just to see if guys are going to play with the right technique. Because a lot of the times when you throw the ball deep and people get, players get under pressure, they usually get a flag because they're not used to that type of, being out there on the island by themselves. So if I'm the Giants, I'm testing it out. I'm throwing that ball deep and seeing if the Falcons, corners and safeties can cover. And then key to victory number 3, if I'm the Giants, is KStylzz talked about it. Saquon Barkley. He's a game breaker. He's a guy that he's like Cordell Patterson. He's dangerous. He can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. So I'm putting the ball in his hands anywhere on the field as much as possible, whether it's on a screen pass, whether it's running right up the gut. I want to get him at least 25 touches in this game, because the Falcons, as we know, we're not really stout up front. Yeah, we have a solid, Grady Jarrett and the guys that we have up front. But until I see Mike Pennell Jr. out there, until I see them play Jonathan Bullard, as long as I see Steven Means out there, I'm running to whatever side Steven Means is on. If I'm the Giants, I'm running right to that side of the field. No disrespect, but we know what Steven Means is. So we running right to his side until he can prove to me that he can set the edge properly and he's not jumping outside of his gap. Whatever side Steven Means is on, if he's on the field, that's where I'm running. No disrespect to Steven Means, because I love, he's a locker room guy, but for whatever reason, like KStylzz said, I don't know what pictures this man got of somebody on the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, I don't know what pictures this man got on somebody in the Atlanta Falcons locker room, but this guy somehow, some way finds his way on the field. I don't know if you guys picked up on it last week where he was playing I think he was playing like linebacker in the 4-3. I'm like, why is this man standing up? He is not fleet of foot. Get him out the game and put Michael Walker in. But that's another conversation for another day. But I'm just gonna run the ball with Saquon Barkley. Make the Falcons prove that they can stop the run. You do those three things at the Giants, you can easily put our Falcons, on their heels in this game.
You damn near hit all what I was gonna say too. But
I'm gonna start going last KStylzz. So
no, you good. You good because they get you have the intellectual side of it.
Yeah,
I'm keep it simple, stupid. So they get that side as well. So if I'm looking at the Giants, and God knows I'm about to get this phone call by the end of the week because my homeboy is a Giants fan. So I'm about to get this phone call. But if Giants, you have to protect Daniel Jones. We know this offensive line is bad, but you got to try to protect him at all costs. Because by protecting him, you can stretch the field. Like I said, you got Galladay out there. You got Sterling Shepard. You got Tony out there. I was about to say Contavious Caldwell-Pope, but I was like, nah, that ain't his name. You got Tony out there. Like I said, you got Saquon in the passing game. So I feel like if the Giants' number one thing is the offensive line must hold up. If they don't hold up, it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a long day for them. Two, just like what you said with Saquon Barkley. You gotta let him be the engine of the offense. Use him to set up those plays for those wide receivers. Like I said, Saquon will break a home run play on your ass for about 60 yards. Only issue is he could have 120 yards on 25 carries, but one of those carries go for 60. So, so if you actually take that, if you actually add that up and take those other 24 carries to that to 60 yards, that's not a good average. But the thing is, you still have the threat there. So I use the threat to set up the long pass. And three, this is about as simple as I can say. You got to create turnovers. Like I said, as we know, this Falcons offensive line is not set. They still trying to figure out who's the right piece to go right here and where. Like I said, Matt Hennessy's not playing well. Like I said, Jalen Mayfield's played a lot better from week 1 and 2. But test him. See if he can do it 2 games in a row. See if he can play better 2 games in a row. I'll test him. And like I said, I will blitz him because you got to remember this New York Giants team is a 3-4 defense. They got 3 down linemen, so this ain't no 4 down lineman type of offense. They'll use it every now and then. But I'll attack that Falcons offensive line and see what they got. And that's all I gotta say on that.
It was one other
Well,
thing I wanted to mention too, Mike, before y'all move on. And it could have been in the keys of victory, but I went on a little rant and got on a tangent. But I seen one of the fans put in the chat talking about Daniel Jones' mobility. That's another thing. He's sneaky. He's mobile. He's sneaky athletic. Like he's a guy that he doesn't look like he's a guy who can scramble, but he's a guy that got that straight line speed, and he's a mobile quarterback. So another thing for our Falcons is we have to be disciplined because we know in that first Eagles game we didn't do a good job of sizing up those guys and not letting those guys get out on the edge. So that's another thing that we have to look out for. If you're in man coverage with your back turned, Deion Jones and those linebackers and even our defensive lineman has to be smart. Don't run past Daniel Jones. Stay in your lane. And if, just try to keep him in a pocket. As dumb as that sounds, he's a mobile quarterback. So keep him in the pocket if you can, because Daniel Jones will bolt out that pocket. And if you come blitzing and you don't take the right angles, KStylzz always talks about, if you don't take the right angle, Daniel Jones, he gets a step on you. We've seen that big run he had against Washington where it was called back due to a holding, but he broke up the sideline and those guys couldn't catch him, even the corners. So he's a lot faster than you think. So it's always, with mobile quarterbacks, that's always another thing that you have to keep in mind. Have to take the proper angles, have to stay in your actual spot. Whatever you fill the gaps correctly. Don't jump outside of your gap.
Exactly. One thing a lot of people don't know, you could be the fastest player on the field, but when you got guys that know how to take them angles, boy, that angles negate speed real quick. Ask Reggie Bush. Ask RG3.
Blasted.
As these type of guys that have speed but can't really translate it on the field because speed is only good for you when you breaking away downfield. But when you got a lot of that traffic around you, if people, like I said, it's all about the angles. We've seen Grady Jarrett chase down motherfucking speed receivers like a mug.
I mean, we saw what he did to Jalen Hurts. He chased him down. That man ran straight out of bounds. Grady Jarrett was after him. Grady Jarrett ain't the fastest guy.
Right. See, the thing is, like I said, that's one of like technique 101s. But like I see a comment in here that was talking about, well, that's the thing they learned since Pop Warner. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Once folks start getting into high school, all that fundamental shit go out the drain depending on the coach. Because a lot of coaches don't really teach players proper techniques anymore. And that's why it's been such an increase in injuries as far as this game been for a long time. The people don't know the proper way, the proper techniques.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, KStylzz, when you were talking about, like, don't just rely on your athleticism. Like, that's why Dean Pease always says, I want smart players, not players who just go off athleticism. Like, everybody in the NFL is athletic to some standpoint. You made it to the professional ranks because you're athletic. So you can't just rely on, I'm athletic. You have to be athletic, but you also have to be smart. And being smart is knowing what angles to take, knowing where to be on the field. Like you guys know, I love Bleedy Way Wilson. He's not fast. He's smart. He's always in the right place at the right time, doing the right things, playing with the right technique. He's never it's never about being the most athletic. We see athletic guys all the time make mistakes. So we can't rely on our athleticism. We have to be smart. And that's what I was talking about being disciplined. Like in the first game, you could be aggressive, but you also want to be disciplined. If you're coming on the blitz, if you see him getting ready to, bolt out the pocket, you think he might bolt out the pocket. Like that's what I was referring to. Don't run past a mobile quarterback because you leave, you run and leave your lane. That quarterback 9 times out of 10, like we seen in that first game, they're going to bolt out of that pocket and then they're going to, go right up in the gap you're supposed to be in. That's where they're going to escape out of that gap. So we heard Dean Pease talking about that, like in the first game that we had, certain guys on every single play was supposed to be keeping the edge on their side, but for whatever reason, they were trying to make a play jumping out of their gaps and stuff like that. And sure enough, Jalen Hurts was able to roll out the back, escape out of the other side because of guys, not being disciplined, not doing their job.
You just said a handful there, and for people that didn't understand what he just said, I'm gonna give you the keep it simple, stupid thing that he just said. hold your goddamn contain. That's it. Hold your contain. Hold your
Mm-hmm.
lanes. Hold your outside.
Yeah. Um, I'm just gonna do it. I would. Let's just go into the Q&A, but I gotta say this. Y'all gotta stop crying like little damn girls, man. I'm sorry. Y'all just gotta stop crying. All this damn crying. What are you mad about? We lose all the time. This franchise is a losing franchise. You crying ain't gonna help. You crying will not help. You saying that I'm tired of crying and I'm tired of losing ain't helping anything. What do you get out of crying about, oh, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired. Guess what? There's a solution for it. Hop on a bandwagon. Whichever team is winning, you jump on it. That's the solution to it. You don't have to be here. Ain't nobody holding you hostage to be a Falcons fan. I know I am. I'm not. I don't give a damn if you are a Falcon fan or not, because I'm going to represent regardless of the fact. So all these people on that video crying about, oh, I had a right to do this, I had a right to do that. Shut up. Shut it up. All right? Just stop crying. We've seen worse. We've seen worse. We just had Mike B and William Amy on the show, and they said the same exact thing. We've seen worse. What's up, KStylzz?
I see the video you talking about today. And it's pretty much, and it's like I said, it's pretty much a thing that I've been saying for the last month and a half, and we've all been agreeing on here. Like I said, what makes you think you deserve a winner if you don't show the energy that you want a winner?
Like I got a simple turn. I got a KStylzz turn to it. If
Hey.
your woman or your man telling you, look, in order for you to get the goodies tonight, you're gonna have to fix my plate. If you don't fix a plate, you ain't getting the goodies. So why do you feel like you deserve the goodies because that's your woman and that's your man? It's really that thing goes simple. You gotta work for it, bro. She gotta work for it. She gotta earn it. He gotta earn it. So that's the simplest analogy I can possibly make.
See, I think what the issue is what we look at is it's more so of everybody trying to compare to the other teams. Like I said, I always ask the question, what makes you think you deserve a winner? We're not in these board meetings. You don't own a stake of the team. Like I said, like I keep saying before, if it bothers you that much, nobody is holding you here. But if you're going to still be here and bitch and complain about the team every year, and be honest with you, they've been bitching and complaining about this team since 2008. Let's just keep it real.
Mm-hmm. Even with Vic, y'all wasn't even happy with Vic. Y'all booed him out. Y'all booed people. They conveniently forget them booing Michael Vick. I mean, he shot birds at you and everything. So don't try to say, oh, this is just this Matt Ryan. Oh, we losing because of Matt Ryan. Y'all, it ain't because of Matt Ryan. Y'all were doing the same thing to Vic. I know Jude became a Falcons fan because he was a Vic fan and from Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he knows.
Yep. Keep it real.
Right. But like I said, and I don't think a lot of people kind of realize that a lot of these other fan bases that went through worse than what we've been through is literally sitting here laughing at the Falcon fan base. I don't think y'all realize that. Like I said, our own media doesn't make it no better. The national media doesn't make it no better neither. I always say your loyalty is subjective. Your loyalty or your fandom is not based on when you win it, it's when you lose it. Because remember, even when the Falcons was winning, y'all was still booing the hell out this team. Oh, I remember them games I went to. Them early years when in 2008 when this team was winning, when we actually finally got back-to-back winning season, y'all booed the hell out this team. Because the quarterback doesn't represent what you wanted as the Atlanta Falcon quarterback. But the thing we keep saying is, what is holding you here? But then when we ask you to get online, when we ask you to come on and explain your case and explain why such and such,
I'm gonna wait till Friday.
You bitch out on the spot because you don't want to be put on the spot. Like I said, if you're going to hold us accountable for liking a quarterback that you hate, we have to reciprocate that energy and hold you accountable as fans. We can't complain about a winner, about a team not winning when we don't appreciate the team when they're winning.
I got even better analogy for you.
That's a ass backwards statement right there. This is the stuff we talk about.
And we're gonna get there. We're gonna go to the Q&A section real soon. But everybody start putting your questions in the chat so we can answer them. But even that, we talk about change. We talk about change all the time, whether it's change in the world, change during this pandemic. If you want this pandemic to go away, you got to do what's necessary. You got to play your part and help, spread awareness. You got to, challenge each other to say, look, man, let's just do the right thing so we can get out of this, get out of this pandemic. So we, as fans, we have to do our part. If you want a winning organization, if you want Arthur Blank to listen to you, you think going up to him, cussing him out, that's gonna make it any better? That's not gonna make him want to bring in a top tier coach. That's not gonna make him trade whomever player that doesn't deserve to be here. That's not gonna make him do anything. So that was the reason why I made the video. Just because you complaining, just because Mad Mike up here doing and saying, oh, you need to get rid of this person, or Juice saying we need to get rid of the person, they ain't listening to us. They don't give a flying you know what about us. Because at the end of the day, whether they win or lose, they still getting paid because they got other businesses outside of the Atlanta Falcons. They gonna get their money. They don't care about what we saying. They gonna do what they want to do. All right. Yeah. So as fans, what we can do to make it, and this is absolutely the truth, is do what the Cleveland Browns did. They pissed and moaned. They bitched when the Baltimore Ravens decided, when Cleveland, the original Cleveland organization, decided they were going to take their talents to Baltimore. They complained, they petitioned, they did everything possible to make sure that they got their team back. And the NFL had absolutely no other alternative than to listen to them. So Falcons fans, if you want a better team, support. Stick up for your team. Because all this complaining, you've been complaining for 60-something years. It ain't did nothing. We still haven't won a championship.
No Lombardis.
None.
And I think the problem, and like I said, I think really the problem is I think really what the issue is, they go after people that don't say that Matt Ryan's the worst quarterback in Falcon history. Let's just keep it real. Because the way that they talk about it, Matt Ryan is on the level of all the quarterbacks we had in the 70s, which was absolute garbage out before Steve Bartkowski.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, if you said disappointing as far as it could have been done more with him, that's an understanding statement. But to say that he's the worst quarterback Atlanta's ever had is kind of that's asinine to the 10th level. Because y'all want to go through Cleveland when they had 23 quarterbacks in 25 years, in 30 years. Y'all want to go through that? I damn sure as hell don't want to do it.
No.
Miami's still looking for a goddamn quarterback. They ain't had a quarterback since Dan Marino.
And Tua look like he ain't gonna be healthy no time soon with them broken ribs.
Buffalo right now, they embracing what they got right now because it's the best quarterback they had since Jim Kelly. That's almost 20 years worth of ineptitude quarterback play. Wait a minute, hold on.
Whoa,
Jew, you might have to break the bell out. Jew, you got to break the bell out on this one. We got 50 spot.
Oh,
wow!
Look, I think the baby might be asleep, but
he said for the podcast. Delilah said for the podcast equipment for man looks like a ghost.
Oh, me? Oh, he talking. Oh, I know. I don't know. I know that. I'm definitely working on that. It's coming real soon. You know how Amazon do it, but wait, they make you wait about 3-4 days for it. But yeah, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, man.
We definitely appreciate that. Yeah, we all struggling over here, so we good. We definitely appreciate that.
That right there, damn sure support. We truly appreciate that, man.
Exactly. But like I said, the main thing we always say about it, man, like I said, if it bothers you that much, like I said, we ain't got no Lombardis. That's the main thing. What apex of the Falcon franchise are we comparing to if we've never been up there? That's my question. You might have some folk that don't know what the hell apex mean. It means the top. The top. Mm-hmm. What do we have to compare to if we've never been to the top? Because if you're comparing it to other franchises, like I said, you gotta look at the history of the Atlanta Falcons as far as GMs, Rankin Smith, and all that shit. It hasn't been good. You got to remember, the Falcons was almost lost in the 90s. We wouldn't even be talking Falcon football if Rankin Smith would have had his way.
Yeah, because he was selling that thing. He was selling this franchise. Mm-hmm. Arthur Blank saved us from that because he knew the city was a good city, and they just need the right owner.
And that was going to be bad for the economy as far as the NFL too, because Atlanta is a big market city.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ain't got no team in a big market city, even when you look at LA got 3 teams now. They got the Raiders. No, they ain't got the Raiders no more. But they got the Rams, they got the Chargers, and they got the 49ers.
I mean, technically, they still got the Raiders because the Raiders ain't paid no damn taxes in about 20
years. Did you see his bold haircut? You can see why they didn't pay no goddamn taxes. Right? He looked like he got a Hitler statue in his goddamn office right now.
Oh, man. Hey, man, let's go to these questions, man.
That Raiders owner look like all 3 Stooges.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Hey man,
Right.
again, we appreciate everybody for the super chats, man. Like I said, everything that you guys donate goes into making AFN and our brother sister channels and other platforms. Look, we're trying to give you guys nothing but the best. All right, and we're talking about the best. I know um, a lot of people may think otherwise, but what we mean by the best is quality. As a lot of people can report the news, but a lot of people report things in a negative light. We trying to make sure that we take care of our Atlanta Falcons first and foremost.
Hold on. I want to hit one little comment right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I remember hearing this about it when they when they built Mercedes-Benz stadiums, and they was talking about the churches and how the curse of knocking down the churches
Mm-hmm.
was.
Mm-hmm.
How come y'all never answered the question of the churches took the money to move?
Mm. Yeah.
You can't, like I said, a business can't knock down another business without a permit or without permission. Them churches took that money and went somewhere else. We have to look at that. So if you're gonna blame it on that, you gotta blame the people that own the churches that got the money. Now, if this was one of those cases where they scarfaced that mud and just bullied them and get your ass up out of here, we ain't gonna pay you shit for it. That's one thing. But churches took the money to relocate to take that spot. So is it really the Falcons' fault that they took the spot, or is it the church's fault for accepting the money to move?
Y'all gotta start reading rumors.com. All right. Like that, like all them fake sources, y'all gotta start reading that stuff. Go to Adam Schefter, go to those people, Ian Rappaport. Read the stuff that's actually true. Stop
Yeah,
looking at all these rumors out here. Half of these rumors don't even be true.
yeah.
I can say 90% of them not even true.
Because it's actually illegal to take somebody's property
Mm-hmm.
just out the blue like that. Even though the history of this country shows that they do it anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're talking about as far as big business, as far as making money for the city, it's illegal to do that. Okay, Eric Murphy came and said, "Is there anything would you do to change on the depth chart this week? There any changes?"
Did you?
I didn't get a chance to see the depth chart. Was there any changes on the depth chart, Eric?
Hold
What
on.
changes
Let me
was up there? Pull the depth chart up. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but I mean, the only thing that I would change off the top of my head that I've seen in the last couple games was Steven Means. I don't know why he's starting. Like I would take Steven Means out of the starting lineup.
I told you why Stephen Means said he's on the sideline like, "Hey, TL, yay, go
Yeah, he can do that on the sideline. Like I want to see. I want to see them put Jonathan Bullard out there. Like I think Jonathan Bullard, he did enough to me in the preseason to garner him, or Marlon Davidson can play that edge in the 3-4. So I don't know what's up with both Jonathan Bullard, Marlon Davidson, and Michael Walker. To me, Michael Walker isn't getting enough snaps. I don't know what that's about. But to me, those are the three guys, like on the defensive line. Like off the top of my head, I've been seeing a lot of Steven Means. No disrespect. Like I said, Steven Means is a solid player, but I think you would get more impact from a guy like Jonathan Bullard, for one, because of size. Jonathan Bullard's dang near 300 pounds. And that's what you need in that 3-4. You need big guys that can set the edge and hold the point. You bring a bigger guy in there. He'll make it easier for Deion Jones. He'll make it easier for a Fourier to shoot those gaps in the run game. So,
Oh wow.
that's one player that I would be looking at.
Okay, yeah, I got the depth chart right here, so it's pretty much.
Well, it's been changed at the starting tight end position. That jumped out to me immediately. I don't know if it's the Atlanta Falcons, but from ESPN, they are Kyle Pitts starting at tight end now.
Yeah, I got it right here on AtlantaFalcons.com.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts is gonna be the starting tight end one.
Okay.
It's pretty much gonna be the same depth chart. It's pretty much gonna be the same. They trying to see if AJ Terrell will be able to suit for the game, so they still had him listed as the corner number one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree. I agree with you on this. Like I said, Steven Means, get your ass up out of here.
Yeah.
I like I said, I'd rather start Jacob Tatui man.
Him as well. But I think on the edges, like on the at the defensive end, when they're in the 3-4 set, you know you're gonna have like Dante Fowler and those guys on the edge. But I would put more size in there. Like I want to see Jonathan Bullard, Grady, and Davison out there in the middle together to see what type of interior pressure they can create. Because to me, Steven Means doesn't really get any pressure like that. Like you can bring him in rotation, but as far as in the run game, that's the reason why teams have been basically just running through us pretty much, early in the game. Luckily, the Buccaneers didn't really try to run the ball a whole lot. They were doing a lot of play actions and things of that nature on first down. But I want to see more size out there. Like we know what Steven Means is. Like I said, give me some more variety. You bring them in, to get those guys a blow when they want to go out and get some Gatorade and stuff like that. But as far as starting, I want to see less of him and more some of the younger players.
Yeah, because I was about to say, boy, Tyler Davis is ass, but I forgot he was even on the team last week. I forgot the number and everything. Because I saw more Taquan Graham anyway.
Yeah.
It was Graham, it was Grady Jarrett, and it was Jonathan Bullard. That's what I mostly saw on the defensive line last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even remember Michael Walker. Like, I'll have to pull up the snap count. I remember that he picked up the fumble when Dante Fowler made that came away with the sack. He was the one who recovered the fumble, but other than that, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of Michael Walker.
Right. So, but the thing is, I want to see what they're gonna do with Mike Pennell Jr. I want to see if they're gonna let him play this week.
Because is he still on the practice squad, or did they put him on an active roster? Last time I thought he was on the practice squad still.
I don't know. I didn't even know he was on the practice squad. They did, because the news I got from it, they didn't even say nothing. They just said,
"Oh, okay."
He signed Mike Pennell Jr. I was about to say Mike Bull. I was about to say, damn, I'm thinking about a basketball player.
Yeah, that's another player. He's talking about Tyler Davison. Yeah, Tyler Davison, another one that don't need to be getting a lot of playing time. He's another one to get ran through.
Bro, I kid you not. I'm looking at the game. I see Taquan Graham. I did not see no Tyler Davis. I seen Tyler Davidson maybe.
No, I seen him. I saw
him.
I seen him under the pile. That's all I seen. I seen him when they say 2 yards in the cloud of dust. All I seen was 96 on the bottom of the pile.
That's an issue. Do you guys regret us not drafting Lamar a few years back?
Hell no.
Good.
I don't want to pass the ball. I don't want to see him run all the damn time. Shit, I could have. We could put Cordero Patterson out there to do that.
Or Russell Gage, shit, one of those two.
Yeah, if I wanted to see that, I would have did that. That's easy. That's the easiest thing in the world to do that. To put somebody at quarterback and tell them run. Anybody can do that. There's plenty of athletes.
If this is true, y'all, it's egregious. She said he only played 5 snaps. Is that true? Michael Walker only played 5 snaps last game?
I believe so.
Yeah, if that's true, then we definitely gotta get Michael Walker more snaps than that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Like I said, Lamar Jackson, the thing about it is you have to, and for some reason, it seems like every year is always 1 year when we need, everybody wants the best player available. But when the best player is available, everybody wants a fucking need. I know I am not the only one that noticed that. But the problem is that's a what if scenario. Because you could also say if the Falcons draft Lamar Jackson and he doesn't turn out to be the guy that he is in Baltimore, then you literally gonna have the same situation you have in Green Bay, where you literally drafted a first round quarterback and motivate Matt. And like I said, and if that case would have happened, and like people say, you draft the backup quarterback to motivate the starting quarterback. If you motivate the starting quarterback long enough to where he's motherfucking out here balling and they going somewhere, now you got this backup quarterback that you already gonna waste about 2 or 3 years of his contract. So by the time you're ready for him to come in, his payday's right there. And all he just got to play 1 year. But it's not a guarantee. We could throw the what ifs with the quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and stuff like that.
Bro,
Every quarterback that gets drafted by a team in which system fits them. It's not a guarantee. Lamar has improved as a passer.
The league
a lot more than what he did his first couple years. But he's in a system that best suits his style on how they utilize him. He's in the best system that he got. And plus, a lot of these college quarterbacks coming out nowadays is running RPOs and read options anyway. Yes, yeah, even the white ones too. So we not gonna just throw the black quarterback thing out there because I know some folks thinking like that.
Hey man,
well, we seen Matt Ryan run an RPO on Sunday. We seen him run his own read. Him and
you talking about the RPOs? Certain folks said that they'll never want to see him run again.
Yeah, the one he has to score points on. As long as you score, I don't care how slow you're running. You can be running slower than a turtle. As long as you get the results, I can care less how slow he was running.
Man, look, at the end of the day, people gonna complain about stuff. If you score a touchdown on the goddamn offensive line, look, William Perry fullback dive. I don't give a flying fucking. I'm sorry. If it works, I'm happy. Why are we complaining about stuff that works? First, we complain we don't score touchdown, and then when we score a touchdown, I don't want to see Matt Ryan ever do that again. Like you cannot win, people. You can't win with this stuff.
I know. Look. I told you, man. I think secretly they want to see the Falcons. They love seeing the Falcons fail. I'm convinced of that. The Falcons failing gives them wet dreams. I'm convinced of that.
I don't even think it's that. I just honestly think that people are they have that Skip Bayless mentality. They don't care what happens. They don't care who wins. They just gonna pick. They gonna nitpick everything: baseball, basketball, football, soccer, hand tennis, table tennis. Look, marbles. Look, you ain't like whatever it is. They just gonna nitpick it. Everybody trying to be Skip Bayless these days, and that's just the truth of the matter. They don't care about anything other than just being Skip Bayless.
But like I said, like I said, if it bothers you, like I said, you need to go down to Mercedes-Benz Stadium or Flowery Branch and start going out there protesting.
Let me say this real quick though. All right, I'm tired of people just focus. And excuse my fucking language. I am so fucking tired of people focusing on the quarterback position. This league is so much more than the goddamn quarterback. There's coaching, there's ownership, there's the front office, there's scouting, there's running back, there's fullback, there's receivers, slot receiver, tight end, second tight end, third tight end, fourth tight end, fifth tight end. All right? So many other players in the damn game, but y'all want to focus on, y'all want to dumb the game down to just, if we drafted this player, it fixes everything. That's not how the game works. Even in baseball, And they ain't everybody ain't out there throwing a fastball. Some people got a curveball. Somebody got a changeup. Somebody got a splitter. Somebody got a knuckleball. It's so much more. It's deeper than just the quarterback position. Stop dumbing the game down. Learn the sport, and like it just comes out of that. Drafting a new quarterback ain't gonna solve the Falcons' problems. It's not. Us getting one. If we go out and get Aaron Donald, even if we get Aaron Donald, that's not going to guarantee that we win a Super Bowl. The Rams they selling their whole future to still win a Super Bowl. It's a team effort.
It's a team because if it was that simple, why is all the other quarterbacks in the league that got one Super Bowl only won one Super Bowl if that was that simple? I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, you have to build the team right. You have to have the right team mentality.
Exactly. At the end of the day, Lamar Jackson don't got a Super Bowl. And he got a better defense than Atlanta. He always had a good defense, and he don't have a Super Bowl. So
and a better running game.
Why we keep bringing up Lamar Jackson? Like he gonna come to our team with a worse defense, just gonna look worse. He can't win he haven't won with the Ravens. So what we want with Lamar Jackson?
But he can't even get to the Super Bowl. He can't even get to the
But you also have to remember too. The one thing Lamar Jackson has in Baltimore that Atlanta doesn't have is an interior line that can actually protect him, which will allow him to get outside, to run those quarterback draws. You got to have a good offensive line to do that. And when I say a good offensive line, you got to have a tough interior line to do that. Because it don't matter how fast your quarterback runs. It don't matter if your quarterback runs for 1,000 yards. We've seen it with Michael Vick. Michael Vick and the Atlanta Falcons was #1 in the league in rushing 3 out of 4 years. So his offensive line was not terrible as what most people would think it was. But what was the downfall of that team? That was one of the worst passing teams in the league for those 3 or 4, 5 years. So everything goes together. You got, like I said, you can have a new car, but if you can't drive that motherfucker, what use of it is? But a goddamn car note, and it's sitting in your goddamn driveway. This is what we talk about. We talk about every phase of the game matters. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, y'all gonna look at us stupid because we didn't say Matt Ryan's the worst quarterback in Atlanta Falcon history. And we literally have a portion of the fan base that thinks like that. You want to go back and look at that Falcon quarterback history? I don't think you really want to do that.
Well, you've done that before. I don't want to have. I
don't think you want, because outside of Barkowski, Michael Vick, Matt Ryan, it ain't looking too good in this franchise. So,
like the critics list at the end of a movie. You looking at all these names, you don't know who these people are.
And while you're doing that, let me go ahead and see if I can find that list anyway. I think I still have it saved. I think I.
Did you get this, Jew? I think you got this question.
Yeah, I don't know if Ghost Peppers was in here. We talked about John Brown. Like, yeah, John Brown. I mean, he's a guy that's going to come in, a gadget guy, take the top off the defense. We talked about it, kind of like a Taylor Gabriel. You can use them on those misdirection plays, like on jet sweeps and stuff like that. I think it was a good signing, though. We talked about it earlier in the show, Ghost Peppers. Mike talked about it in the post-game show. Guys just not getting open, period. They double and triple teaming Calvin Ridley. Russell Gage had that ankle injury. I don't know how serious it is, but they're bringing in some depth. They haven't signed John Brown yet. He just worked out with the team today, but I think he possibly will be signed, depending on how bad or how severe that ankle injury is for Russell Gage. because you got to have an extra body that you can throw out there. And he's a guy that can play inside and outside. He can play slot. He can play outside. He's a veteran. Played for the Cardinals. Played for the Bills. I think he also played for Baltimore for a little bit too, if I'm not mistaken. But he's been in the league for a minute, so he's a speedster. He can do a lot of different things. He also can play special teams. So they just basically improving the roster at this point. Go ahead, KStylzz.
I actually have a list compiled of Atlanta Falcons quarterbacks in the history of the franchise here. I'm going to name quite a few names here, and one name might sound funny as hell here. Randy Johnson.
I don't remember.
Not good.
I thought you were talking about the pitcher.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson.
Bob Berry.
Never saw him.
Dick Shiner.
Hell. Hold up.
Yeah, he started.
Y'all been reading porn names or something.
Nick, I got the list right here.
Tell me, I think he said that.
Pat Sullivan, Steve Bartkowski, June Jones.
I know June. Everybody know June.
David
Jones.
Archer.
I know
Kramer. Chris Miller.
Unfortunately, I know him.
Billy Joe Tolliver.
Unfortunately.
Jeff George.
Oh, unfortunately.
Bobby Haybert. Chris Chandler. Tony Graziani.
Ugh, God, I
Danny
remember him.
Cannell. Michael Vick. Doug Johnson. Kurt Kittner. Matt Shaw. Byron Leftwich. Chris Redmond.
Hurt, terrible ass kid there. Lord Jesus Christ. Don't ever read that list again. We're going to combine it.
These are literally quarterbacks that have actually played, that started and played majority started games.
Yeah, we remember Steve DeBerg. Steve DeBerg came in when the Falcons. Chris Chandler was hurt during the 98 season. He played pretty well. So I remember Steve DeBerg.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's a long list. And I didn't even name I named a couple of the backups. I didn't even name all the backups.
Bro, that man
I was just naming guys that actually played, at least started a game.
Yeah, that man said.
Joey Harrington. I said Joey Harrington. I thought I did, but Joey Harrington in there too.
That man said
Kirk,
yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. That is a long list of ineptitude quarterbacks. Like I said, Bartkowski, Michael Vick, Matt Ryan, the three best quarterbacks this damn franchise has ever seen. It's let me see. In 54 years, we've literally had three quarterbacks that was worth a game. And we can't count Brett Favre because he didn't start.
I forget about that. I don't like to talk about Brett Favre. I don't even want to talk about Brett Favre ever again.
54 years. Three quarterbacks. You may put Chris Miller in there too because he's played a couple plays. We've literally hold on. I had this other list up here too. Hold on. Let me get
wait, no, we don't know.
No. They need to see. They need to hear this. They need to hear this.
I'm about to mute you. We don't need no more quarterbacks. We don't need to read no more quarterbacks. No, sir.
Look. They need to know. They need to know the history. They need to know the history. But, bruh, that lit, bruh. How? Yeah. Chris Red, yes. We literally had 2007, we really literally had three backup quarterbacks start a game for one season.
Oh my goodness.
With that being said, people, we looking for the questions. Where are the real
Yeah,
questions?
we need the questions, man. Please get us some questions in here.
Let's see postseason. We've
Lord.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks have played in preseason games. Barkowski had 3 postseason games where he was 1-3. Chris Miller was 1-1 in the playoffs. That's one playoff appearance. Jeff George was 0-1. Chris Chandler was 2-1. Michael Vick was 2-2. And Matt Ryan 4-6. That's literally 5 quarterbacks that played in the playoffs for the Falcons. So let me ask the question again. What apex are we basing this off on? We ain't got no goddamn Super Bowls. All right, I'm done. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, because that list was starting to depress me a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my phone away.
All right, this question for you, Mike. He said, Fred Butt says, what do the Falcons have to do to get on the road?
You said it already. It's going to be simple. Get off to a fast start. We already have designed. The team is designed to keep a lead, but they got to get off to a fast start. If they can get off to a fast start, we will more than likely go on a long winning streak, but they got to get off to a fast start. And I think the fast start, they did it against the Eagles. I thought they should have did that again, but they went hurry up in the first, and it like the Eagles wasn't ready for that. Matt Ryan got into a rhythm, but they got to get to a fast start, and that's when we can lean on that. That play calling with Arthur Smith. What Arthur Smith is learning how to get off to a fast start as a play caller, because his style is more so ball control, not make a ton of mistakes, and that's how he ultimately wear you down. And he let the fatigue like that. That's how the Bucs ultimately won that game, is because our D line just got tired. Offensive line got tired. They wore them out. So that's it. Got to get off to a fast start and control the clock so the D line can get after their offensive line. You can add something too.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think to get on the road, we just have to see consistency. We talk about it all the time. Like you've heard me, you heard Mike, you heard KStylzz talk about, we always want to crown these young quarterbacks or crown young players as being the next great thing, but you have to show it over a period of time, consistency. So that's what I want to see out of this young team. We have a lot of young players. So yeah, Jalen Mayfield, looked better in this last game, but can he keep it up? Can you do it over, be consistent and do it over a period of time? That's what made Alex Mack a great center. You seen him do it in Cleveland with the Browns. You seen him carry it over to Atlanta. That's what makes you a great player, is doing it year after year, year after year. So, hold on.
Wait a minute. We have a 49.99.
Look, you ain't dropped no question.
Hey, we appreciate the stupid sticker, boy. You better go and drop a question right there, boy. You paid your $49.99.
Appreciate that, man. God good, man. God good. That's all I say about that, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, but consistency. That's it. Just to go back to it, just being consistent. That's what the team needs to do to get on the road and take it one game at a time. Because I know we've looked at least I've looked at the schedule going forward. We had a Giants, we have the Washington football team, and then the Jets. You just want to take it one game at a time. So win a game. That's in one to create a winning streak. If you can't win one in a row, then you can't create that momentum. So it's all about momentum. So can they carry over, the progress that we had in the game against the Bucs? Can they carry that over into this game against the Giants? because that's what it's about. Usually younger players are inconsistent. So we're going to see if these young players can be consistent, carry over, some of the good things we've seen them doing this last game. Can they carry it over to this week and continue that through this long 17 game schedule?
My bad, Drew. What you just said reminded me of one of the greatest movie lines I've ever seen from one of my favorite movies, Major League. When Coach Lou Brown said, "We win one game, that's one game. We win two in a row, that is two in a row. If we win 3 games, that is a winning streak."
Yeah, man. You got to win one, though, first. You can't do nothing until you win one.
Exactly.
Shout out to the Atlanta kid, man. Atlanta kid, shout out to you.
Man. Yeah, like I said, you got Scott Man Stunt and Bobby Boys on 3 said the same thing. And agree with all of us, consistency and depth is the key.
But that comes with patience. Like that's the thing. Like you can't, from game to game. One thing that we got to keep in mind, and that's why we keep saying patience, and what we as a crew are looking for are those small things that a lot of people don't see. And we're talking about the coaching adjustments, because that's going to, from game to game. So like that's the first game. A lot of people just so worried about what we were doing and, we didn't pass the ball enough. Well, he's setting up the next game. As play callers, what coaches are trying to do is get you to think about something. They want you to think about the run so they can, in the next game, do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like we did in game 2 against the Bucks. We didn't see the Wildcat in the first game. You see what I'm saying? Next game, we probably have a completely different game plan where we spread everybody out, use Cordero Patterson more like a wide receiver rather than a running back. And then you got guys like Gallman who may get active. We have Carji Olsen who's still on the practice squad. We have Mike Davis who Mike Davis might be that single back. We might spread them out. So these are the things we're talking about. Different adjustments from week to week. We didn't see that with Dan Quinn. It was the same stuff every week. We already knew he was going to run dig routes. Everybody who ever played the Falcons knew that Julio was going to run a dig route. We knew that Calvary was going to run a dig route. We knew that everybody was going to run it. Everybody, you get a dig route. You get a dig route. You get a dig route. Everybody going to get a dig route. We know that. But right now, we don't know what we're going to get from Arthur Smith. I can honestly say, I don't know what the hell he's thinking. Outside of he going to run the ball, I don't even know what he's going to do. And that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Drew said it. Creativity. He said that last show. Creativity.
You got to be creative, man. You, like I said, you got to use those concepts. Like I said, I want to see more bunch formations. I want to see more levels concepts. I want to see some spacing. I want to see them create that space for those receivers. Like I said, all our receivers are small. You got to find creative ways to get them open, because they get that press coverage. We don't, like I said, we have no confidence in them in press coverage. So you got to find different ways to do it. Maybe you might need a John Brown to run that 9 route to clear some space. Hey, it's just a wait and see here now.
You want to explain this one to Asia?
Okay, so the bunch formation is, if you noticed the game where they had Kyle Pitts and Russell Gage literally lined up close by, it's usually a 3 wide. It's usually 3 wide receivers that's bunched in like a triangle. It just depends.
Yeah,
it's bunched like a triangle. But what you do with that is you use that formation to clear space for either the interior receiver, tight end, whoever's playing that. It's all about creating space. It's about creating chaos with the defensive back's mind, because you don't know if they're going to be crossing. You don't know if you're going to have that one hook route and you got that wheel route going, Or you could have one guy clearing out going to 9, and you might have that dig route, that 5-yard crossing route coming that could lead with a corner. Like I said, we have to see more of that. And that's why I say I feel like we haven't really seen the full extent of this playbook just based on what it's been from a week-to-week basis. So, like I said, you'll see. Like I said, if you see 3 wide receivers literally bunched up, literally look like they bunched up together, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And an importance of the bunch routes, like you were saying, KStylzz, just to add on to it, is to create that doubt in the defender's mind of who I'm covering. Because if you're in man coverage, if it's a pick play, it makes it a lot harder to cover it when you're in those bunch routes if you're in man coverage. So a lot of the times you'll see, if you're watching the game, you'll see sometimes a veteran quarterback would just send one of his wide receivers in motion just to see if they're in man-to-man coverage. The way you can tell that is if you see the corner follow the receiver across the field, if he goes in motion, usually that means that the defenders are playing man coverage because they got to follow their man. If you don't see nobody going, in motion with that actual wide receiver or that tight end, whoever's running in motion, usually that means that the defense is playing some type of zone coverage on the backside.
Because I explained this bunch formation, now all of a sudden now we starting to get Madden comments.
Oh man.
Yeah, boy, I wouldn't even know, boy. I ain't played Madden in so long, but hell, I'm still on the goddamn PS2 Madden shit. I don't play the new shit no more. But yeah. Like I said, we just need to see more variety of the offense. Like I said, it's to allow doubt in the mind of the defense. Like I said, you saw a little bit of it here. Like I said, and Ghost Peppers actually had a comment here that actually made me laugh. It was funny as hell. He said Matt Ryan regressed to 300-yard passing, 35-46 pass. If he regresses to 400 yards, I guess he said we should go ahead and release him and take the cap hit. I told you, boy. They don't want him. They say his arm is weak, but when they running routes that accentuate weak arms, now all of a sudden, why is he not throwing the ball deep? X Factor.
We're gonna mess around and make a whole new segment, KStylzz, called "Make It Make Sense."
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Okay, who are your X factors on both sides of the ball this game?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this, man. Because when you look at the weakness of the Giants, Daniel Jones is a guy that can get out and he can run, but he doesn't necessarily have that, that side quickness, that agility to like make guys miss like a Russell Wilson and change direction. Like he's not that type of runner. He's more of a straight line speed type of guy. So what I believe that the Falcons are going to do is they're going to use a lot of B blitzes. I don't necessarily think they need to have a lot of A blitzes because Grady Jarrett, I think Grady Jarrett is going to force them to double him. And I think those B gaps suits Daniel Jones more so than a guy because what you want to do with an A blitz is to get that quarterback off the spot. I don't think you have to worry about getting Daniel Jones off the spot because when he moves around, he's not that polished of a passer yet to kind of worry too much about him as a passer. So though I don't think you have to worry about getting him off the spot just yet. So I'm going to say that they have to that guy It's gonna be 4-year-old Akun. I think 4-year-old Akun is gonna have a big game this because he's gonna be blitzing from those B gaps, possibly an A, but I think he's gonna be B and C gap. I think they're really going to attack those to get him because they want to cut the field off of Daniel Jones. Like again, he's not a guy that's going to make you miss like a Lamar Jackson, Russell. So those guys can change direction with well. So I think you're going to see the Falcons like a lot of overload blitzes to force him off the spot so you can change direction. And that's how you're going to get a Dante Fowler get sacks, a Tutu get sacks. Because you're going to force him off the spot and force him to go this way, and he doesn't have enough agility to get away from those guys like
that. How about offense, Mike? Who you think going to be the playmaker on the offense or the X factor?
Ben, I'm going to say this, man. I think this Kyle Pitts going to have a coming out party. He just got promoted as the number 1 tight end. He's about to be unleashed. They about to unleash the beast. They about to let David Banner is about to let the Hulk out. Okay? David Banner ain't worth messing around no more. All right? He ain't messing around no more. The Hulk is about to be unleashed. And I think Kyle Pitts, they finally realized that, like, look, the receivers ain't getting open. So we're going to put this guy on the outside and we're going to force teams to make that adjustment. And that's where you're going to see a guy like Russell Gage, Zacchaeus, and then, a Hayden Hurst eat in the middle of the field. They're going to force the ball. Like you're going to see Kyle Pitts have coming out show because, like you said, they don't have great linebackers. Their linebackers are more so like run stoppers. So they're not very good in coverage. They have some good, okay safeties. I don't really think Jabril Peppers is that good of a cover safety, but he does have that ability to get after the ball. But like, I don't think he's a playmaker like that. So I think Pitts is about to have a big game.
I'll go next. My X factor on defense, I'm going out on a limb on this one. Ogundeji, I think Ogundeji gonna be the X factor for this defense this game. Because I don't think they're gonna play Steven Means as many snaps as we saw last week.
They bet not.
But the thing is, what you're gonna need is you're gonna need somebody on that other side that has the ability to hold, contain, and still athletic enough to where he can make plays on the edge. And like I said, you're gonna have Tatui Mariner who's backing up Dante Fowler. But I think Ogundeji might have a breakout. I think he might be the X factor for this game. And
how about offense, KStylzz?
Offensively, that's a tough one because Mike already said Kyle Pitts, so I can't use that one. And I used Keith Smith last week, and it damn sure didn't work for me. I'm gonna say it like this. I think Calvin really has a bounce back game. Only if they use those bunch sets. If they try to line him up traditionally, it might not go. It might be 50-50. But I think Calvin really might be the X factor for this team offensively. Because they see what Cordell Patterson is going to do. So if they see him on the field, he's going to get attention. They know Kyle Pitts is about to get some damn attention. I know everybody say Hayden Hurst. Like I said, really, if you actually look at the way this offense has been, Calvin really has gotten relegated to the third option on this team. As crazy as that sounds. So yeah, I would expect Calvin Ridley to kind of be the X factor for this game.
All right. So on defense, mine's gonna be real obvious. Debo. Debo is gonna be the on defense.
I knew
Debo is
you was
gonna be
gonna
the
say
X
that
factor.
because that's why I said it for you because I knew you was gonna say Debo.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the linebackers, but y'all know I love me some Debo. He's my favorite player on the defensive side of the ball, and he's a playmaker. He's always around the football, and in this game, look out for him trying to break that record for a pick six. I can see him picking the ball off and taking it back to the house. He gonna make a play in this game, whether it's him blitzing because he had a sack last week on Tom Brady, but I think in this game he gonna get his first interception of the season. I think he might take one back in this game. Whether he's like on a swing pass, he goes out and Daniel Jones is under duress and he just throws it up there because Daniel Jones is one of those guys that's going to put the ball in harm's way. And I can see Deion Jones, him or Foyer going to have a big game, or both of them may have a big game. But one of those linebackers, because they're the playmakers, like Mike said, one of them are going to have a big game. On the offensive side of things, I think it's going to be Cordell Patterson. I think Calvin Ridley, I think Kyle Pitts, like y'all said, both of those guys could have a big game, but I don't care how much they focus on Cordell Patterson. When you're a playmaker, you're a playmaker. And they hand him the ball. It's different from Calvin Ridley. You can't, like, you can roll coverage and stuff like that, but now that they're using Cordell Patterson mainly as a running back, you can't really do nothing because they're going to hand him the football, and he got great vision because he's a kick returner first. So he has that vision where I think that's a little why he's a little bit better than a Mike Davis as far as seeing what hole to go through. He's really slick with his vision, and he hits the hole a lot faster than Mike Davis. To me, Mike Davis takes a while to get going. Cordell Patterson, he's going to hit the hole. He's going to hit it hard, and he's going to go through there fast. So if you're in there, he's not afraid. He's a big dude, 6'2", 230. So I think in this game, he's just proven over the last two games that he's a playmaker. So
wait. I want you to rewind that back to me. You said 230?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 230. You didn't know that?
I thought it was about 250. I thought about 215, 220. I didn't know
he's a big guy.
He's a big boy.
I know he's a big. I know he's a tall ass dude, but God, good Lord, I thought about 220. Shit.
Yeah, he a big dude. If he's 220, even 220 though is a big dude. 6'2", 220, 225. I know he's the biggest running back that we have on this team. Right. And I heard somebody saying like they were trying to compare him to the Titans running back, Derrick Henry. I said he's not Derrick Henry, but he has that explosiveness. Like if he hits a hole, like you seen on Sunday when basically Derrick Henry just went got dang on Incredible Hulk mode against the Seahawks. He went Thanos on them and they couldn't do nothing about it. CP has a little bit of that in him. Like he's a playmaker. You give him the ball, he's not looking to go down. Like I heard somebody talking about Calvin Ridley, running sideways and stuff like that, or looking to run out of bounds. When Cordell Patterson gets the ball, I've never seen him tiptoe out of bounds. He's trying to run you over. He's trying to gain yardage. You seen that last week when he stepped out of bounds when he was on the sideline and they were trying to bring him down. He's a load to bring down. So I think those are the two guys in this game. CP, which they also call Flash, and because of his speed, and I'll say Debo. Both of those guys are playmakers. Both of those guys have a quiet confidence about themselves. I don't know if you guys got to see Debo's interview after the game. He has a quiet confidence about himself. And we all know he's the leader and the heartbeat of that defense. Other than Grady Jarrett, even though he's no longer, has the green dot on his helmet, Deion Jones is a playmaker. He's proven that every year he's been with our Falcons. So I expect him and Foyer to ball out in this game.
Yeah, but the only thing is, in order for those two to ball out as well, the big hogs up front gotta hold them. They gotta hold it.
Yeah,
they gotta hold it. Bullard, Grady. I'm not gonna say Tyler Davidson because I have no confidence in him whatsoever. Marlon Davidson. They gotta hold it. They gotta hold the point of attack in order to let them linebackers do it.
Yeah, I agree. Good news is the Giants is inept on their offensive line, so they doing a lot of the things that the Falcons are doing. You shoot one of those linebackers through to get the A gap, they not blocking the soul.
Bro, I'm looking at the depth chart. They got one guy is the backup at almost every position. Like one guy, he got one guy backing up everybody. That's how bad it is. They don't have anything else. That's bad. Go look at it. Go look at the depth chart. They got one guy that is backing up everybody. Everybody except for the center. He's back up for everybody.
Man.
Oh,
and man, play all 5 spots on the offensive line. I ain't never seen that.
Boy, that's a high school goddamn. That's a high school offensive line right there, boy.
Let me see. I forget his name. But yeah, that dude. Whew. Yeah. Oh my gosh. He what's hold up.
Let me see. Oh, I want to see this myself.
Yeah, it's Matt Pert. Yeah, Pert.
I'm about to say, I know you ain't about to say Matt Percocet. I'm about to say, boy, man, that offensive line, they gonna need some Percocets.
So they got two guys on IR, and Matt Pert is the backup at tackle, guard, and the other right tackle. So yeah, the other guys, they're in trouble if anything happened. You got one guy that's the backup for that. That tells you they really don't have a very good offensive line.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, there's a question here for everybody in the chat. He says, what is the ceiling for this team in your opinion? I think it's too early for a question like that, but this game is going to say a lot. I know that. Like how I said last week was a litmus test to me and Mike. I think Mike is either this term must win. This right here is a must win game because we've already played 2 NFC teams and we're 0-2. You don't want to fall 0-3 because when it comes down to those tiebreakers at the end of the year, when you're trying to get into the playoffs and you have those tiebreakers, meaning teams that actually beat you head to head, this is a very important game. I don't like to use the word must win, but you can't get out to an 0-3 start. I know it's 17 games and anything can happen, but at this point, you don't want to, you really don't want to go on no losing streaks in general, but losing three games, especially in the NFC South, because right now a lot of the teams are out to a good 2-0. I think the Panthers are 2-0 and the Bucks are 2-0. So we got to start gaining ground on some of these other teams in our division. Yes, we still play the Panthers twice, and we could sweep them and kind of catch back up that way. But we have to start winning some of these games because when it comes to those tiebreakers, like I said, these teams that we face, if it comes down to the Giants, if it comes down to the Eagles in the the other divisions in the NFC East, the NFC West, you want to have those tiebreakers in your back pocket. So we definitely need to win this game. Like this is a must win for us. We have to win this game. We can't afford to fall 0-3, and that'll mean we've been 0-3 in the NFC so far. Like we got to start gaining ground.
Right.
But I won't say what the ceiling is because I think it's still early and I've seen improvement. So I want to see are we going to continue to improve or are we going to dip back down? Because a lot of the time, like I say, you either stay the same, you go up and down, or you keep rising. And I want to see if this team is going to keep rising or we're going to keep seeing improvement. Or are we going to see that up and down, up and down, up and down? And like KStylzz said, are we going to see the game for 60 minutes where we're doing good and playing a solid game throughout the game, consistency? Or are we seeing up and down, up and down? We make a streak like we did in this last game in the third quarter, but then in the fourth quarter, everything fell apart. Like we got to put 60 minutes consistently together. That's going to say a lot in this game, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for a win. Yeah, there you go. I do want us to win, but look, KStylzz just put it up there. 60 minutes. We got to do it for 60 minutes. And we have to, prove that we can do it for 60 minutes. That's the most important thing this week. And I think that was going to be in my keys to victory, KStylzz, because you said it every time last season during our
exactly
our pregame shows. So in this game, I won't say what the ceiling is because the sky's the limit. We don't know what this team is yet, but we got to do it for 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I try not to use it too often because that's like one of the most obvious keys that we have to worry about. But every team really is do it for 60 minutes.
Right.
But hey, at least I got a chance to use the 60-minute picture this time.
I think this is a coaching game right here for me. This is a coaching game because one thing for me is important is that we can't get back into all right. One thing that plagued the Falcons for years is that we played down to the competition and we lost a team we should be massacring. And this is a coaching game for me. If you end up in a close game with teams that you should beat, that's a bad sign. So this is a coaching game for me. This is huge for the coaching staff first and foremost, because if you're gonna preach, accountability and not all this stuff previous before Dan Quinn, you got to beat teams that you should beat, and there's no reason why they should not beat the Giants. The Giants do have a good enough front seven to kind of manufacture some pressure, but that offensive line, like you said, they have major issues on their front line. And Saquon, he is coming from back from an ACL tear. He still had explosiveness, but he's still not Saquon Barkley before injury. So even though he's still a major threat, I think we have the speed and the discipline within our front seven to kind of contain him. But again, I think this is a huge game for the coach's sake, not necessarily the season's sake, but the coach's sake. Because again, if you want to preach toughness, you gotta bust. Look, if Mike Tyson up here, knocking out babies, all right, everybody's like, damn, all right, you knocking out babies. But if he's knocking out grown ass man, looking like, you know what I'm saying, like 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, he's knocking out those type of man. He's like, okay, now I'm good. But we gotta knock out the people that we supposed to before we even think, even have, as far as the fan base, like, all right, we believe in you now. You just beat this thing. Because we know what we could do against Tampa. But have we really changed the culture? Are we really on the right path as far as the organization is concerned? Because we losing you just put up a big, a good game against Tampa, but you turn around and lose to the damn Jets. You turn around and lose to the Giants, team you shouldn't. So that's culture. This is huge for me for the coach's sake.
And I also want to say is the Falcons cannot afford to look like Evander Holyfield in that last fight. They can't afford to look like that.
No, sir, Bob.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He cannot be looking like that. I don't know if anybody saw that last Evander Holyfield fight, but this dude tried to throw a haymaker and fell out the ring. We can't be doing that. This is why. This is why this is a must-win game for the Falcons. Oh my God! Yo, go ahead.
Yeah, just get into final thoughts, man. You can go ahead, you.
All right, so we want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, y'all hit that like button on this video as well. Go over to everybody's channel on the panel. KStylzz, AskMADMIKE, TalkSports. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm almost at 1,400. So you guys definitely go and continue to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000. But like we said, man, we appreciate each and every one of you guys always tuning in. Like I said, we're here to entertain you guys. We're here to give you guys the stats, the facts, and the truth as always. And I'm looking forward to this game against the Giants. Like I said, this is the must win in my book. We can't afford to start 0-3. And like Mike said, accountability. That's what Arthur Smith is, teaching and coaching in that locker room. And like I said, once you start winning games, that's what young players need. That builds their confidence. Like you look at a player like Isaiah Oliver, man, that man did a 360. Like I'm so proud of Isaiah Oliver and the way that he's playing. Like last week, breaking up passes. Like this guy went from being the joke, the guy that we were joking after on every post game show. He basically was the laughing stock of the secondary. Like everybody was always blaming Isaiah Oliver. He was the Matt Ryan of the defense. Like everything was Isaiah Oliver's fault, and he done turned it around. That man done turned it around, and that's Mad Mike's due. So I got to give, I got to give credit where credit is due. Oliver's definitely like turned it around. He's one of those guys. When I say you got to give it a couple years for guys to develop, Isaiah Oliver is living proof that if you give guys a chance, give those guys like 2 or 3 years to develop, be patient with these guys, Isaiah Oliver might end up getting another contract. I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons re-sign him because he's really stepping up. Like I said, on that play where AJ Terrell batted the ball and, fell really hard, Isaiah Oliver was back there in coverage and looked like he was in position to make an interception. So, like I said, man, continue to support this team. That's all we ask. If this is your team, if the Falcons are your team, I'm getting tired of other teams coming into our stadium and they having the home field advantage. Let's cheer our team on, man. We need to have a home field advantage. Like, that's something special. The 12th man with the Seahawks and all these other different organizations, the Buffalo Bills, the Craze fans that go out every Sunday and, support their team. We need to do that for our Atlanta Falcons. Win, lose, or draw. We need to go out there, make noise on third downs, help the team, cut off their communication where they can't hear when they're trying to snap the ball, cause them to get a false start penalty. Like, we need to do that for our team. Let's root our team on. They get enough inboxes and negative from all of the other fan bases. So we don't need to, get into the DMs and put all of this negative stuff in there about our team. We need to root our team on because I really think that this team, they have, the sky's the limit. As I said, the sky's the limit. We don't know what this team is, but no matter what, win, lose, or draw, we just need to ride with our team until the wheels fall off. 0-16 or 16-0. We need to ride or die with our team. And I'll leave it at that.
KStylzz.
Hey, I always say, man, like you said, appreciate everybody tuning in, watching. That's it. Follow your boy 6-Man KStylzz. Or we could shorten it up for 6MK. You follow your boy 6MK over here. It sounds like a video game, don't it? I like
it sounds like a boy group. It sounds like a boy band.
It sounds like a boy band group. That's what shit. That shit sounds so weak. But like I said, follow 6-Man KStylzz channel. That's 6-Man with 2 Z's. We definitely appreciate it. Like I said, I'm still on the road to 500. I need 59 of y'all. I need 59 to get to that next goal. Like I said, we appreciate every subscribe that come this way. That's why I said, if you're watching these videos, you don't have to ghost watch. You can hit that subscribe button. You can hit that like button. And this is why we always say you leave your questions in the comment sections, and that is where we do our shows and videos from as well. This is what the fan interaction that we do with y'all is. We let y'all determine. We let y'all get y'all thoughts out the way, and like I said, we give our opinions and give you credit on them. But my final take is gonna be here, man. You can't like what you said about about being a Falcon fan. The reality of it is you're not going to change everybody. It ain't even about changing everybody, but it's about putting the conversation out here. Like I said, we here at Atlanta Falcon Nation, we get held accountable. Like I said, and a lot of the Falcon fans get held accountable for everything we say as far as when it comes to Matt Ryan, when it comes to the team and stuff like that. And we hold ourselves accountable to what we say, and we stand on it. But the problem is the same people that want to hold that same accountability towards us are the same people that if you question them, now all the excuses, now the accountability is not shown. And that is what makes this fan base look weak, is because we have a lot of people that will not hold themselves accountable as fans or quote fans, that then get mad at somebody for calling them out.
Y'all want to get mad that somebody call y'all Two-Face, but y'all doing Two-Face's crap. So that's the best analogy I can say. You can't be saying that you're a true friend and all you do behind their back and in the groups and like, oh, this player suck. Screw it. I give up on the team. I don't care about it. Yeah, look, that like it is what it is. But at the same time, KStylzz just pretty much said it. It's not about trying to force you guys to change your mind. I don't give a flying fuck if you don't support them. I don't give a. I don't care. I don't care about if you, but it's about putting the conversation out there. All right, because we might change one person. If AFN can change one person's mind, you know, hey, Jew, give them y'all line at church at the church.
Oh yeah,
y'all know. Go ahead.
Y'all forgot. Jew's other nickname too is the minister because he be spitting that fire over here, boy. The fiery pits.
Fire and brimstone. Tell them.
Fire and brimstone, boy. Spitting that fire and brimstone, boy.
Y'all motto.
Exactly.
Give him the motto, Jew. Give him the motto.
Give him the motto, Jew. We gotta get it.
At my church, saving souls and households, one family at a time.
One family at a time. That's all. That's what
trying
to do.
Yeah, look, that's all we try to do.
That's it.
So, like, that's basically what Mike say. We, like I said, it's not about changing everybody, but the thing about it is, don't be trying to tag us and try to hold us accountable for what we saying if you're not ready to receive that same energy. Because it's not just the people that say it, but it's the people that be trying to tag everybody else that's still optimistic about the team.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we say the Atlanta Falcon fan base, not all the fans, but the majority of Falcon Twitter and people that like to pillow talk. This is why they always say that Falcon fan base is not very good fan base. Can't like I said, you can't have a full nation if everybody's damn divided.
Mm-hmm. Simple as that.
Simple as that. But for those that are willing to ride with the team, those that still support the team, like I said, AFN is not for everybody. So we got some guys that'll come in here and start pillow talking to other content creators, talking about how we ain't shit and stuff like that. We don't do this for them. We do this for y'all. This is why we say Atlanta Falcon Nation, we are the nation. One band, one sound. Don't always have to agree on everything, but you gotta have the conversation. If we don't have the conversation, then the cycle keeps repeating itself. That's all I gotta say on that.
I'll end with this. I'll be nice this time. But hey, man, at the end of the day, like we said before, we truly appreciate everybody and their constant support for us. And don't be afraid to tell somebody who's absolutely sick of the negativity. If you sick of the negativity, we got a whole slew of people in the description of every video that we upload. All right, especially on Mad Mike Sports Atlanta Falcons Nation. Come follow us. We don't do all that, negativity and this person suck and like. Look, we say what we gotta say, but come Tuesday, that conversation is done. We don't keep talking about what this person did. We trying to create a solution. That's what we do here. It's all about creating a solution, getting to the bottom of things. Why this and why that. And we move on. It's all about support. And you guys have continuously supported us through thick and thin. Everybody who donated to the channel, to the Cash App. Jew has one for himself. Jew TalkSports You can check it out on his videos. He have the link there for you guys. Also, KStylzz. If you just want to individually support anyone, Twisted Tea, just everybody on the crew. If you just wanted to support everybody, you can do so at the Cash App. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, y'all already know we're going to give you the opportunity if you want to come on the show on Friday night and just, say what you got to say. And even, I don't know if you guys have paid any attention. We started doing fan takes on Atlanta Falcons Nation. You saw LT. He submitted 2 videos already. So if you want to do, a video, a take on whatever you want, it's your show. Submit it. Send it to me. Send it to Miss Maggie. Send it to KStylzz. It don't matter. We will find a way to put that on the channel. But that's it. All right. The show is all about you guys, and that's the difference between as the song goes, what's the difference between me and you? It's y'all. That's all I got to say about that. You guys continue to support your boy here at AskMADMIKE Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, TalkSports, 6-man KStylzz. Hit every one of those guys, the heavy hitters. All right, KStylzz, kick us out the door like Uncle Phil did.
Well, so somebody gonna be like this. Ah, who gonna do that? No, nah. But for real though, like I said, we here at AFN. We always say this, man. We ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't gotta go home, but
you got to get the hell out of here.
Oh, wait a minute. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Hey, man.